Welcome in, everybody. Thank you guys for being here today. I know we are just getting on here, so I know people are waiting to get in, but welcome in. This is Medium Manifesto. My name is Michael. I'm an evidential medium, and today we have an amazing person, amazing everything. And I'll let you introduce yourself. All right, Ermi, because you are amazing. So tell everybody who you are, okay?
All right, thank you, Mike. So guys, hi, I am Ermi. I am an evidential psychic medium. I am a mentor. I am a speaker. I'm also a wife, a mother of two, and I'm also a travel nurse. I am a pediatric ICU and neonatal ICU nurse. So those are what I do as a trade, but as a medium, I am. I've taken a lot of different hats, but I am excited. That's the main thing. That's what I am. I'm excited. I'm excited to be here, Mike. I'm excited to be here, Michael.
I
So,
know, I know. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I was just going to say I've been trying so hard to get you on, and I know some things happen, and you know, some of it was not in my discretion. I don't know how to put it, but yeah, I was trying to get you on here forever, and you know, things happen, but I'm happy you're here now because I've been waiting a long time for this.
thank you.
Um, no problem. So me and Ermi met on TikTok, where I met a lot of people on TikTok. Probably like everybody that's coming in here right now, I've met off TikTok, and I think that's the cool thing about TikTok is it's like an open market to meet new friends, right? For you, you've met like you said a lot of your mentees, right?
Mhm. Yep. Majority of my mentees I met through TikTok, and yes, I met you on TikTok. Um,
Hmm.
you pop up my For You page, and I was like, oh, okay. Because you don't really see male psychic mediums on TikTok. You don't see male psychic mediums hardly. Well, unless they have the big names like James Van Prague or, just I wanted to see, oh, I'm glad Spirit put you on my For You page. I just watched you and I just enjoyed watching. I'm like, oh, he's dope. I like him, I like his vibe. But I did meet a lot of my mentees because TikTok is high traffic. So you always have somebody popping in, popping out versus, the other platforms where it's not as, busy. But TikTok, you always have somebody coming in, if it's even if it's for a minute, a couple seconds, somebody popping in, see what's going on, and they pop out. So I view TikTok as like a mansion with many rooms. And it's just like which am I gonna go through? Who's in this room and who's in that room? So I'm glad that I met you through that platform. It's one of my favorite platforms to be on. So yeah, definitely TikTok.
Yeah, that's awesome, and it's so funny too because I feel with like TikTok, it's you said it how like people hop in and out of rooms, and it's like I'll see the same people in so many different rooms of like people that I don't know. I come across by accident, and I click on it to watch it. And I'm like, dude, all these people, I know all these people, Um, so it's kind of funny how it works, like you said when you just said that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Um,
love that.
so so you mentioned being a nurse.
Mm-hmm.
So what was that like, and also what got you, because like do you still do nursing at all?
I have. I'm paused right now. I tried, and Spirit was like, "No, blockity block." So yeah, I haven't traveled in probably a year and a half, maybe, or maybe 2 years now. So yeah, I've just been solely doing mediumship, solely developing, so just solely doing spiritual stuff. But a few months ago, I did try because I had a vision that I was going to be on live like every other week, and I was thinking it was attributed to me going back to work because nurses we work every other weekend, and
Hmm.
that was a big nope. That was not it. It was just a lot of changes that was happening with my business and with with where I'm going in my journey. And so, and I've been a nurse for almost 20 years. So when I did apply, I got that no, you're not. You're not. I got a hard stop because the people didn't ever call me back. I was like, oh, this is a perfect spot. I can do this. I can do my mediumship and I can also work as a nurse because I kind of miss it and taking care of the babies and everything. And I didn't get a call
Hmm.
back. I was like, wait a minute. I'm definitely qualified. I'm overqualified, but I didn't get a response. And then I sat with Spirit, and Spirit was like, it's because you're not supposed to be doing this. You've already done it. So now let's move on. So yeah.
That's cool. They give you like a clearance on it too. Because like imagine if you did get accepted, you know, like you probably wouldn't be on this podcast right now.
Right.
You probably be, you know, 10 hours deep in a shift right now, you
Yep.
know, drinking Red Bull and trying to find ways to get through the shift, you know, because I mean, we all know nurses work crazy hours and it's like, it's just, you're on your feet nonstop. You're constantly moving. So it definitely wear and tears on your body, you know?
Yep. And I'm usually drained. We usually work 3 days a week, but it's 3 12-hour shifts. So this is waking up 6 o'clock in the morning, being there by 6:45, clocking in, and then you're there the entire time. Sometimes, I mean, when I worked in a pediatric ICU, sometimes it gets so busy, you don't even have a time to take a break, you know, because your patient it gets very, very busy. But I could say for moments, you know, just a break enough to just eat and then go back and make sure the patient is still taken care of. But I loved it because it was only 3 days a week. But those other days, I'm recovering from those 3 days. Like, yeah, Spirit, you might have a point there, Spirit. I shouldn't be. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to balance it all.
Yeah, I was gonna say it seemed like they were looking out for you, huh?
They were definitely 100% looking out for me, and I appreciate it. Even if I have that want, because I even tried for like a staff relief or a PRN, like let me just work for one day. Spirit's like, no days. You can't work. You're not doing this anymore. And I'm like, but I'm literally qualified to do it. I can do no. So I got the hard stop.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's because you're already on the journey you're supposed to be on, and I think they just wanted to keep you on it. You know, I don't think they wanted you to take any detours at this time.
Absolutely.
That's what it sounds like.
That's exactly what it was. And I'm about that too, because I'm able to fully immerse myself into this, and I see why. Because again, there's healing. Being a nurse, we're healing, we're helping, we're guiding. You know, and being a medium is the same thing, but in a different vein. Helping, guiding is the same thing, but it's just that I'm not physically touching anybody. I'm not putting IVs in. I'm not giving anybody a medication. But when Spirit talks to me, I'm giving, or when the energies come through, loved ones come through, they're giving those messages of healing, guiding. You know, so it's similar. It was very similar for me.
Yeah. I mean, both
What was
ways.
it like for Ermi being?
Yeah.
Sorry, I was.
Yeah, no, you're good. I was going to go to that next. Yeah. So, how was it like for Ermi being a medium while working as a nurse?
Okay, so when I will talk about my last assignment when I was in Virginia. I have when I started to really develop and understand what it was that was happening with me, spirits would come to me all the time, and they were coming to me before I knew I was a medium. Taking care of patients, and I would see an energy standing in a room with me, or I could feel the energy. If I'm connected or if I'm taking care of a patient, I know they're near transition. I will see their energy come out sometimes, and I'm like, "Oh no, what is happening?" You know, kind of freak a little bit, but I was still in that what's happening mode. But I know that this is where Spirit is pushing me. So I felt like it was more of a teaching moment with Spirit and me. Being spaces, I was seeing energies all the time, all around me. As I started to develop more and more, I kept seeing it even the more, even to the point, Michael, the Spirit will tell me, you need to talk to her. You need to talk to this lady. You need to talk to her. And I'm like, I'm not talking. What the heck? No, absolutely not. I'm not. And Spirit was like, "You're gonna talk to her," and I'm like, "No, I'm not. I don't. Not on duty. I'm working. I'm working as a nurse. What do you mean? I'm talking to her." And then I will tell Spirit. I remember one time I told Spirit, I was like, "If you really want me to talk to her, you bring her over here. You make her come to me. I'm not going to her. I'm not going to talk about spirits to people randomly like that." And as I picked my head up from my desk, who was standing next to me? My coworker, the nurse that I said I wasn't going to talk to. I was like, "Oh. Hey, what are you doing here?" And she was like, "Oh, I'm just coming over here to see what you're doing." And I was like, "That's yeah." Oh, you did. And so I was able to, say gauge her first, because I usually try to gauge and see where people are when it comes to this type of stuff. And I was like, "What did you think? What do you think about ghosts and things like that?" And then she was like, "Oh, I love that type of stuff." I said, "Okay, so what about mediums?" And she's like, "I think they're cool." And I was like, "Okay." So boom, I have your aunt here. And I just began to connect with her and tell her, and she was shocked, and I was shocked too, because I didn't realize me do that. But she received the message, and it was pretty dope. But I want to say that was like in the beginning of my mediumship, and I told Spirit, okay, I will work with you, but I don't want to do it in public like this. I don't want to do it like this.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Yeah. No, I get it. It's like one of those things that's hard, right? Because like, and I mean, everybody has their opinion on people reading, strangers or people they work with or whatever, like out in public, but for me, like I think everything happens for a reason, you know what I'm saying? And I think sometimes the spirit come to us and they're very, like very, won't give up, right? Just very like repeat, just keep, nagging. And, with like your instance, like, she even came to you, like you asked spirit, to do. So I think in those instances, it's, it is what it is, right? Like if that message is needed, it's needed, you know what I'm saying? Because there's some days when people are going through such a horrible, horrible day, or they're having like the worst anxiety, or they're just cannot stop thinking about one person that, passed away, and it's crippling their life, right? And it's sometimes like one simple message from a loved one can not just like turn their whole day around, but give them so much more hope and so much more, weight off their back to know that, not only are they with them, but they're still here in everyday life, right by their side, doing everything with them. It's like they're here. And I think by telling those people that, it just gives them reassurance and kind of gives them hope,
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that 100%. You I try to be very cautious with it, but I tell my spirit team, I'm like, if this is something that you really say, then I want you to tell me. I don't want the energies to come through and just start talking to me and telling me no. Because I set heavy boundaries with energies, because they used to do it all the time. They just come all the time, willy nilly, because I can connect. I'm like, no, 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 no. I still want to balance myself. I still want to live my life, you guys. I still have a life to live. I still am still on this plane living. I still got kids to take care, and I don't want to be so disconnected to my reality doing this all the time. So I had to, let my spirit team know I get it. If you guys say something, then I'll say something. But you guys got to make it to where this person comes to me, because I'm not going to go and chase people down to say, hey, your mom, I don't want to do that. With the boundaries, because some people
Yeah.
this type of stuff.
Yeah, that's a part too. Is you gotta be careful. It's sometimes it's even hard to talk about, like, I don't even necessarily say with strangers, but like sometimes people you talk to here and there.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's hard to even talk to people about that, because it's, obviously everyone has different beliefs and, opinions and whatever, and it's just one of those things where it's, I feel like sometimes, unfortunately, people get really, really, I don't know how to say, like, butthurt or offended, or, like, how could you, or the feel some type of way about it. So I get it. It's hard. You have to be careful,
Yeah, absolutely.
about bringing certain things up. You know what I mean?
Yep, I'm very cautious when it comes to, because I know people don't view things the way I view it. So I have spirit tell me things in a way to make it to where they can understand it, but not force it, like believe me, I trust me, I have your person here, and they're gonna be like, well, Jesus said, and and I'm not trying to go
Yeah.
not trying to go down that road with you. Okay, that's what you believe. I'm gonna leave it alone. And I gauge conversations too, Michael. I gauge conversations. I see what people are when they
Hmm.
issue with me, and I know, okay, this is a person I can actually talk about this stuff to, or certain things they say, I'm like, nope, not even gonna bring it up.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. I feel like it's a feeling too. It's like because a lot of people will give energy off when you like I always tell people this, and I don't know if you've ever felt this way, but when I meet somebody for the first time, I feel like within 1 minute I can tell if I'm going to like this person or not. I can tell if they're a good person or not. I can tell if they had good intentions or not. It's just the energy they give off, and it's like I'm not trying to like tap into their energy and read them and cross boundaries, but it's something people give off no matter what, no matter who you talk to. It's an energy. Everybody gives off a certain energy, and it's like I always told myself, I'm like, man, I can feel it like in 1 minute if I'm gonna like this person or not, And it's always been right. Like, it's always been right, and that's why it's good to trust your intuition and your gut.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm that type of person too. I can feel it a mile away. I could just look at you, be like, "Oh Lord, here we go."
Mm-hmm. For real.
Okay.
It's for for real. It's like that. It's I mean, I would say it's probably a plus, right? Probably almost like an advantage for us. I don't know. It sounds messed up to say it like that, but
No, it's totally fine how you said it. It is an advantage, yes, and
it,
it's that a lot of people are not using it or taking advantage of what they already have within themselves, and they just, I don't want them to think that we're purposely doing it, but a lot of them they unconsciously do it too. They just don't have a title for it or a name for it. Everybody does it. We all do it. It's just that we just don't know what it is, and those
mhm.
mediums or intuitives, we pick up on it quicker than others that that might know, maybe have a gut feeling, but they don't really have a title for it. We know what it is, though, Mike. We already like, yeah, we can gauge it quick because we
Yeah.
attune to it. So,
Hell yeah. That's what I'm saying. So Jess Marie said, "How do I share this live?" All right. So if you have to view, so I don't know if people are here not in the app right now, but you have to view this in the app, in the YouTube app, in order to comment and talk with us as we're going. But you can also, if you're in the app, right below the video, there'll be a share button. Um, I'll try to show it on my phone. Hold on.
oh, I see it too on my end. I've seen
My, yeah, I don't know if you gues can see this or not. It's really bright. Probably not.
even hey,
But there's a share button. You probably can't see it. Do you guys see the share button right there? It's below the video. It says share. It's like a half side with the right arrow. That's how you share it. You can share it out to you can share it as a link. You can share it to like Instagram. Unfortunately, you can't share it to TikTok. I don't know why. Yeah, you might be able to. I don't know. But like Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, there's like Twitter. Like you can share it out to that as well. Um, but yes, but yeah. So again, welcome in, guys. Everyone that's just hopping in right now, thank you guys for being here. Again, my name is Michael. I'm an evidential medium, and we have the amazing ErmiSees, who is probably by far one of the best people I think I've met along this line. So now, for real, I'm being serious. Like you just have a really good energy about you, but
oh,
you're real. You're real. You don't hide anything. You put everything out there, and I think that's what more of us need. So,
that
um,
this authenticity is what I
mhm,
wish a lot. I need to be myself. I can't be. I don't want to be anybody else. I just have to be Ermi because Ermi
mhm.
who been carrying herself for this whole time. And now Spirit is reminding me, don't forget who you are, Ermi, though. Don't forget you. Don't forget you. And don't change. Don't change you for anybody.
Yeah,
Continue your authentic self. So yeah.
exactly. It's like however you've been on this journey, right? Like the person you've been and what you've been doing. Like don't change. Don't change for anybody. Don't let what people say affect you in your journey. Like you obviously were shown things and giving something for a reason. So right, stay on course. I mean, that's the best. I think it's the best way to put it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. So sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I
No,
apologize.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Now, so what I was going to say was, tell everyone who you are. Like, who is Ermi? Who is ErmiSees?
Okay, so Ermi sees the already. I actually had a different title before I came on here. I was like Ermi, the medium, and Ermi, and I don't know. I felt like I I don't know why I felt like I didn't limit myself with just being the medium. But I also wanted to show some of the characteristics of what I'm able to do with mediumship. So that's where ErmiSees come from because I'm able to truly just see the energies. But I was questioning that the other day. I was like, ErmiSees, okay, but Ermi, you can also hear and you can also feel and you also can, it's so much more to just ErmiSees. But that's where that title come from. Just me being able to. I'm also a manifesting generator. So it's just that wide range of what Ermi can do. So right now she's ErmiSees, and young Ermi was always able to see. Young Ermi was always able to see. I know I was born with this ability, and as I developed and grew, with this, I didn't have anybody to teach me what it was that I was seeing or what it was that was happening with me. But seeing was one of the first things that I had from childhood. I was able to see energies all the time. And again, I did not have anybody to discuss that with to help me understand. And then when I did do, um, who I spoke to was my mom about it. And she would be like, you know, because she was super religious or super, she is still kind of super religious, but not as much. But you know, I can't talk about that stuff to her, Michael, because what are you talking about? That is demonic things you're talking about. So what it was, I remember when I was like 5 or 6, and I was in my backyard, and I literally saw energies rising like all around me, just different energies from different sections. I'm just in my backyard, but I'm looking and I could see other, just looking up into the sky, and I'm just seeing energies rising up, and I kept thinking, oh my God, it's the end of the world. People are,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna die, and oh my God, Jesus is coming to save us. The rapture is at 5, 6 years old. Why would I be thinking something like that at 5 or 6 years old? So that's literally I felt was one of my initial gifts, is to be able to see. Now with my adult self, and I was thinking about it, reflecting on it, I was like, oh, I actually was literally seeing, like, you know, people truly probably ascending or coming from their spirits, their bodies, and having a better understanding of it now. But Ermi has truly developed from that. I kind of suppressed my gifts as well, but the dreams were heavy, 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 heavy on dreams. I will always see dreams, or I would always have dreams, and then it would happen. You know, it would happen a day later, 5 days later. It always happened. Every time I would have like some type of catastrophic dream, or somebody showing up in my life, I will see it every single time. And being in the church, I still was able to see it, but it started to really develop when I was in church. So I don't discount the church for, you know, my journey there, because that was another awakening in the church. And as I had that awakening, I was understanding what spirit was, but just the Holy Spirit, you know, and feeling
Mhm.
energy and understanding what that energy was, and then testing my faith and testing how I was able to see even the more. I was seeing more, Michael. I was seeing a whole lot more when I was in church. And it just understand, or trying to get somebody to teach me while I was there to help me what I was understanding. But I realized being there, it was kind of like a little competition, because you can't be bigger than the pastor. You can't be greater than the prophetess of the church. You can't do what they're doing, because that's
Mhm.
their gift and you can't have that. But again, some of those teachings that they taught me was trust God, believe God, trust God, believe God. And I was trusting and believing what I was hearing and seeing. By that point, I was hearing heavy as well, not only just seeing, but hearing. And I developed a lot when I was there. And then one thing that Spirit spoke to me and told me to leave. They said, okay, now you can leave. That's what Spirit told me. But my leaders were like, somebody's telling you to leave, but don't listen. And so I'm like, huh, that's crazy. I'm definitely leaving now. That's crazy. So I end up leaving, and then that's when mediumship started to show up in my life, with seeing Tyler Henry. Mediumship
Mhm.
was in my life before that. I want to say as a child, because I would watch Sylvia Brown. I would watch Jonathan Edwards with their shows, and I was
Mhm.
and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I know we can talk to spirit. If they can do it, we could talk to, you know, dead people too, you know. But I was just amazed by them. But then when I left the church, that's when I saw Tyler Henry a lot more, and meditation kept showing up on my feed on YouTube. And it's just a lot of different things. It's like spirit was literally talking to me, say, hey, 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 I need you to start to pay attention. And I literally would hear, pay attention, Ermi, pay attention, Ermi. And I'm like, pay attention to what? What am I paying attention to? And then more of those mediums would show up. And I'm like, okay, what's happening? And when I was in isolation, I don't want to say isolation, but it was kind of isolation when I went to travel, one of my assignments. And in that assignment, I heard, just, you can do that. You can do all of this. And I'm like, do what? In tears. Like, what? What do you mean? And that Tyler Henry show was on Netflix. And that's when Spirit was like, you can do that. And I'm just like in tears. What is happening? So yeah, so isolation kind of helped me as well with my ability, because I didn't have anybody saying, nope, stay away from that. Nope, you're doing it wrong. I didn't have anybody to, it was just spirit teaching me, you know, like spirit guiding me. It was truly spirit led. So everything I do is spirit led. I don't listen to what other people say. I'll hear it and I'm like, and I ask my spirit team, does that make sense? Is that what you're saying? You know, if you want me to hear that. But 100%, Michael, I am spirit led. Spirit will tell me, don't talk to him. Don't talk to her. You know, she's not, nope. Just sit here and watch, but I don't want you to learn that. Watch how she do it and don't do it that way. So I'm learning what not to do, you know, other people and developing. So it's a lot with Ermi. It's a lot, but I love every moment of it. I love all of it. I love all of it. So yeah, it's so much more, Mike. It's so much more. I love all of it. Absolutely love all of it.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely, it's cool how you say everything's been spirit led, because I feel like in a way, like I understand that, because in a way I feel like for me as well, like my path and everything getting here was not based off of like somebody or me going to somebody and saying, do this, do that for me. Like, can you show me how to do this? It was more so I kind of just did the same thing. It was more because, right, like from a young age, it was just constant spirit in my life. And the older I got, I feel like the stronger it got. There was a point in my life where I pushed spirit away just because I just, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I was scared. Like for a long time, I was scared. But it was the same thing, you know. It was spirit who were the ones that were who, you know, made me like just dive into this and kind of taught me how to communicate. Like it wasn't through somebody telling me, it was me, spirit telling me how to, right? It was spirit telling me how to do this and how to properly communicate, and like exactly what I need to do in order to, you know, not just strengthen it, but to understand things better. So yeah, I think the spirit led part is pretty cool, because it's very true. When you go into this based off of spirit and spirit leading you, I think it's pretty awesome. It
Yeah.
is. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. I absolutely, because again, I kind of learned a lot of that from being in church. Like, what does God say? What does Spirit say? What is the Holy Ghost? They always used to say, what does the Holy Ghost say? And then turn around and say, well, I say. And I'm like, no, but you said, what does the Holy Ghost say? So I'm going to stick with whatever the Holy Ghost say, which continued on when I left. I'm like, okay, so this is not the Holy Ghost that I'm talking to. So who is this? And that's when my spirit guys began to show me that it was them. And I'm like, wait a minute. So I definitely had like I don't want to say existential crisis, but it felt like that, because what the heck? What do you mean? So coming out of religion, it just shook me. It shook me to my core. And that's where I get that spirit led from, that coming from coming from there, and then continuously connecting to spirit in that way as a teacher. I continue to allow my spirit team, my spirit guides, my ancestors to just continue to teach me. And so that's a major part of my journey, is being led by spirit. And I'm gonna be a student forever, Mike. I'm always going to be a student. I want to learn as much as I can. I want to, be able to teach and help other people develop this, and continue to teach, like put myself in a space to continue to learn, and then also continue to teach.
No, that's amazing. Yeah, and I think you're such a great teacher too, because I mean, you have so many students, like so many mentees, and they like every time I hear one of them talk or see one of them comment in your live, it's always nothing but like such kind and such, you know, like heartfelt messages. Like you can tell, like you truly help out so many people, but you touch them in ways that, you know, they probably didn't believe was possible. You know what I mean? And I think that what makes you so special is that you're able to do that. Like you have the soul and spirit that can do those things, you know?
Thank you, Mike.
No problem. But like, I'm sure, like I said, like you probably, you know, when you're younger, you probably would have never imagined yourself doing that, you know?
Never in a million years. I know that one thing I did do as a child was, because I was the oldest. It was me and my brother, and then I have a few cousins that we all kind of live together. And it's up in the same house, under the same roof, and I was the lead. So I remember we used to play school, and I was always the teacher. And my mom
Mhm.
reminded me of that the other day. She was like, "You don't remember you used to always teach them? You was always the teacher for everything. Like even Sunday school, I was like for a moment, a Sunday school teacher. So I find myself always wanting to teach, even in nursing school. Not even nursing school, but in nursing as a nurse. I would have like mentees there, or I was a preceptor, and I would have like somebody that would help train, be a nurse. So I think I was always in that vein to help. In that way, I've always been a teacher in some form, some space. And then Spirit is like, yeah, but you're also going to be a teacher in this too. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? I barely know what I'm doing. What do you mean? I'm going to teach people. And I'm like, I don't want to teach anybody. I still want to learn this. And Spirit's like, as I began to have people book sessions with me, just mediumship or even just reading consultations, they will say to me, when are you going to start a class? You need to start teaching us this stuff. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm not teaching anybody this stuff. I'm not doing this. I'm just here to help you guys. I'm going to be your consultation person, And they were like, this. I'm like, what does that look like? What do we mean teach this? And then Spirit was like, I'm gonna show you what to do. And then I formulated a class. I want to say it's almost 2 years ago for my first class. Almost 2 years.
Nice.
Over would have been 2 years since I started. And it was all because somebody that booked a session with me pushed it in me. And I already know that my spirit team spoke to them for them to say it, because I've been running and avoiding it the whole time. And I want to say a Monday class and a Thursday class, and it was 10 students in each class. So it was 20 people. And I'm like, holy crap, what am I going to teach these people? What do you mean? What am I doing here? Some of the stuff I was still learning. I didn't know about, some of the stuff that I taught them. I was still learning some of that stuff. So I was also not only teaching them, but also learning myself in the midst of that. So that's
That's so awesome. And again, Spirit used somebody to push you forward. Yep. Again, just like before we're starting. Come on, Juliet. Dog. Sorry, she's crying. She wants to go out. So Rachel said, how do you pull away from religion, especially living in the Bible Belt? So Rachel, I too live in the Bible Belt. So I'm excited to hear what Ermi says about this. So what are your thoughts, Ermi? I'm gonna let my dog out. I can still hear you. Okay.
No problem. So how I pull away from religion, I really truly I find myself disconnecting in a way, because I still have some of those values from the church that I still hold true to myself. I still look at the book of Psalms, but as I dive a little bit deeper and deeper, Spirit will tell me, okay, don't you see how that's contradicting? Don't you see how, so some of the things of the Bible I don't resonate with anymore, because when I was transitioning out of the church, that Bible verse or the Bible story and I say this all the time on my lives, where King Saul is looking to connect with Samuel. I want to say it's Samuel who transitioned, and Samuel had already gave him the message that God is not pleased because you didn't kill all of the people and all the animals, but you did take some of the stuff with you. And so Saul goes back to go and find a woman, and she's a soothsayer, or for what we know is a medium, and asks her to connect with him because he couldn't find anybody that was able to do that. So he went to this woman to connect with Samuel, and Samuel comes up. Now again, it might be Samuel, but I can't remember. But the Samuel's energy comes up and says, "Who woke me up? I was sleeping in my slumber." However the story was told, but nobody mentioned in any of the years that I've been in church, they never mentioned this story. They never mentioned how he connected with this medium, and the medium was able to connect with Samuel and give him the message from the grave to say, hey, I told you when I was alive the same thing. God is still not going to be pleased with you, and now I am, who woke me up? Why are you waking me up for me to give you the same message? So a lot of the things from the Bible, and I'm in a Bible Belt area, but half the time I don't care. To be honest, I don't care. I just avoid those Bible thumpers. Sometimes I may go toe to toe because I know some Bible verses and I know some things that are gut punch some people, but I don't want to go and fight with the Bible thumpers. I even had somebody calling my phone, my business line, to tell me to repent.
Oh my gosh.
Yep, calling my business line and leaving messages to tell me, you need to repent. This is not of God. You're doing the wrong thing. You're being a psychic. And I'm like, Spirit, this what we're gonna be dealing with. Spirit's like it comes with the territory because people don't understand.
Mm, mm-mm.
So with that being said, I just sometimes majority of the time I ignore. I set up protection, spiritual protection. Same thing what we would do in church. Pray over myself and protect myself, and but I don't push myself in places. Sometimes I still don't push myself out there because I'm like, I don't want the people that's connected to me to feel the blows of the super religious people. But again, I can't hide. I can't hide who I am. I can't hide this because this is me. This is a part of me.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully that answered that question.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it did. I am. And I don't know if I don't know if I sent you this video because I don't think I had your number at this point, but I had a lady send me a video of her holding a crucifix, and she was pretty much just going on and on. She was holding the crucifix up to the screen and saying, "You need to repent. I pray that the demons and um, the witchcraft and blah 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 are removed from you. You need to repent for these demons." And like it was just a crazy video.
Oh my
And I think Brooke actually posted on her story not too long ago.
God.
I think it was like what mediums have to deal with, and this lady just went off on me. I mean, it was nuts.
Wow.
And it was crazy though, because she called me like 3 days earlier and was like, "Oh, I want to schedule a reading." That video was wild. Katie said, "Yeah, I think Katie said it," but it was weird because she like called me 3 days before and wanted to book a reading, and then she texted me again like, "How much? When can we?" And then out of nowhere, it was just like it was like early in the morning too. I'm like, "Gosh, man, like, shouldn't you be sleeping?" You know what I'm saying? Like, it was so early, and she sent this video, and like it was just so strange. I mean, like she did it like with no lights on. I don't know. It was weird, man. It was fucking weird. Um,
That
but
is,
yeah, so that it does happen. So yeah,
mm-hmm.
you're not the only one that gets sent random you
That's
need to repent videos.
yeah, that's so crazy. I can't believe you got that. That is, and then she had the crucifix like she was banished
Yeah.
out of you.
Hmm.
What the heck?
Yeah. I'm gonna send it to you when we get over here so you can see it. But it's nuts, man. It's just like I just was like, oh my gosh, I had to I had to send it to people. I'm like, look at this shit. Like, look what I got to deal with at 9 a.m. on a Monday morning. Like.
Yep. And the guy that called me, he would just leave me messages and tell me, "Hey, it's you need to." I ended up changing my number, but
Jeez.
still have the business line. But I'm like, well, why do I need a business line? I'm not. Nobody's really calling me on here. So, but I still have that line. Just the number has changed. And I'm sure he could probably find another way to contact. But my thing is, I don't need anybody coming to my space. I don't need anybody showing up trying to put crosses in my grass. Like, I don't need that. Nah, this is not the 1900s, the 1800s. We're not doing a witch hunt. And they did the church. That church did something like that. I want to say it went viral a few months ago, where this lady was at her bookstore and people showed up at the bookstore and was praying and saying, they wanted to, want her to repent, and they were singing songs about burning it down. And I was like, oh, this is not Christ-like. Did Christ
Mm,
agree to this? Like, what? And
yeah.
in my lives too, people will pop in, but I have amazing moderators, so they catch them quick before I even see them. So they don't even have energy to even say anything because my moderators are blocking. They don't even give them a second to speak. So yeah.
They're on that quick, huh?
Hmm.
Uh, Amelia said, "Can being non-religious affect mediumship abilities?"
For me, no. Non-religious people, I'm not religious. I'm no longer in that space. I have moved on, and me moving on helped me a lot with my development. But again, I want to say, even when I was in church, I was already being pushed out because I needed to develop, and the leaders there wasn't going to be able to teach me anything. I stopped taking notes in church. I stopped really just being involved. I slowly stopped going, and me not being in church, it really catapulted me into spirituality and understanding me with spirit and how spirit works with me and how I can trust my spirit team and spirit guides. It kind of pushed me to really dive deep into understanding the soul's journey because, like I said today on my live today earlier, that our lives are not linear. It's not you're not born, live your life only to be in religion and then to die and then to sing hallelujah for the rest of for eternity. That doesn't make sense to me. It's more of we have many many lives and we reincarnate, we do it again, we do it a different time. It's a lot, not just one and done. That's not the end of just, it's so much more. And as I develop more and more into mediumship, I'm seeing the different energies that I connect with, and they tell me so much. They tell me so much, and I'm like, okay, they're not talking about hell. And I've said it before too, Michael. Well, these energies are not coming out of hell to tell me anything about how hell is hot. They're not saying stuff like that. They're saying,
Mm-hmm.
I want to help my person heal. Can you give this message? Can you connect with this person and tell them, hey, I'm around? Like, so it's always beautiful messages. It's always been beautiful messages for me. With the countless
Yeah.
connected for, it's always been a beautiful message.
Yeah. I always say the same thing. It's like, I'm pretty sure, if this is a devil or demon, they'd be telling me to go, jump off a bridge or something. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like they're not if they're not nice and they're evil and they want destruction, they want you to suffer and burn. They're not going to be speaking of love and light, and they're not going to be speaking of the healing and the type of change immediately when they cross about how everything is lifted, how there's no longer any struggle, pain. There's no, what I'm saying? Like they wouldn't speak of that. It's just if they're evil and if they're negative, they're going to speak that too. They're going to show that. So it's like,
Yep.
I'm with you.
Yep.
No, I'm with you on that.
If they do come in to talk about something negative, I don't let them come through. I don't connect with those type of energies on purpose. Like in a private setting, I may, because I want to, allow this person to tell me, the sitter to tell me if you want to continue to connect with that energy. But I tell them no. I tell those energies, you need to back up. Sorry, I'm not connected for you.
Mhm.
Respect my space. And if you're coming to hurt, or not coming to hurt, but if you're coming to say something that's going to be triggering to my sitter or anybody in the chat, then I'm not connecting with you. Because we
Yeah.
have a wide range of people that transition. I've had serial Ks that transition. I
Hmm.
that were unalive by a serial K, and they would tell me, this is what happened to me. And I even had on live, I want to say a few months ago, a serial K, no, a person that was describing what happened to her, how she was unalived by this male. Describe the male, show me the male's face and everything. So I began to describe the male, and I'm like, well, how am I, like, I don't know why she's showing me this, and what's the purpose of this for the live. And then she said that the serial K that unalived there was somebody that's connected to him that was in the live that would understand.
Oh,
Yeah, I was like, oh. She was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. He's connected to somebody else in here, like relative or something, or he also did something to her and she got away. Something. It was something similar to that, and I was like, oh my god. So yeah,
it got deep.
it
It
got
got deep quick.
it got deep real.
Damn.
Yeah.
That'd have been very interesting. Everybody probably just like stopped what they're doing at that point. Was
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
wait, you know what I mean? Like, all right, what's about to happen now?
Yeah. Yeah, I get a lot of those type of readings all the time. The energies they come in with tea. They come in, I get a lot of missing people that show up and say, "Hey, I'm here," and I'm thinking it's just somebody that is trying to connect with somebody in the chat, but it's like a cold case. Another medium might be in the chat and it's like, "Oh my God, I'm working on this case for my cold case, and this is the energy that I've been working on. You're connecting with that energy." And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, he's saying that he's over here between the woods, and like he'll show me, or the energy will show me where they are. I would say, which I think is fascinating. When the energies are coming like that for me.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I feel you. Yeah. I've connected to all different types, but but I do different type of work too with spirit, and I don't know. There's always a big like um I don't want to say like argument or fight or disagreement, but there's some things that I don't know. I feel like it's really not even worth to talk about, but it's just there's some people in this, unfortunately, in this community that are just so judgmental. But it's not just that; it's they have this mentality that everything they say is right, and it has to be this way. If it's not this way, the person's not a real medium. Red flags, blah blah blah. And I'm like, listen, just do your thing your way, and let other people do their thing the other way, right? It's like obviously the fakes will shake themselves out. People that aren't true will shake themselves out. But there's some people that just do it this way, or you're not real, or if they do this, it's red flags. Like they need to do everything this way. It's like, come on, man, just let people do their thing.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I think people are trying to be the spirit police and
Mm-hmm.
control spirit. Like, what do you mean? Because spirit is all knowing. So you making up those rules is just limiting you and your people, but you're also creating a little bit of chaos with other people that are like, oh, well, that's how it's supposed to be because this person did it that way. And me with my mentees, I tell them, me spirit will meet you right where you are. You just flow. You just flow. You just go. Okay. There's
Mm-hmm.
rules. My main thing is as long as your sitter is getting up happy and feel a sense of healing, you did what spirit wants you to do. All that other crap that people are, and I've seen it too, Michael. I've seen where people they have videos and they're like, well, spirit wants you to not be so excited when you are connecting with spirit. A real medium don't react to when spirit. Me, I'm over here watching it. I'm like, and I made a post
Mm-hmm.
that every single time an energy show me something amazing, I'm going to react. I'm going to say, "Oh my God, wow!" I surely am. And who's going to stop me? Somebody's going to find me for it. That is not a thing. I don't get fined. You're not going to write a ticket because I'm doing it the way I want to do it. I'm not hurting anybody. It's all love and joy. And sometimes it's not love and joy all the time. Some energies want to say, hey, I was a hothead. I was they showed me that, but I don't control spirit. I set boundaries with them and I want them to flow, but I'm not gonna, that's crazy to me. That's a sense of control to people, just that ego side of them.
Uh-huh.
Just want to have that.
That
The way I do it is the right way to do it. Absolutely not. You're boring then. How about that? You're boring.
mm,
I don't want to watch your stuff.
seriously, that's exactly right. It's that ego taking over. And like you said earlier, you touch on it. It's they're stopping themselves. They're putting limits on themselves. Like they just put themselves in a box, and now they can't expand. They can't learn more. They can't grow. You know what I'm saying? Because they put all these limits on themselves about what can do or can't do, and now they're stuck, and they wonder why they're plateauing. Well, it's because you put yourself there. Like, what'd you expect to happen?
Yep. And I've seen a big reader on TikTok doing mediumship, and it's never really, they don't really push themselves. So not they were taught that as well. I picked up that they were taught not to really expand, and they were questioned. I wonder why I don't get like a lot of people that were unalived by others. I wonder why I don't get those type of energies that And I'm like, why don't you? Because I get them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, it's because who it was my teachers, my mentors, they taught that, and I'm like, yeah, that's why I don't think I had that's why I don't have a mentor. That's why I don't have a mentor. Spirit's my mentor. Spirit's like, if you're not afraid, then you can do this. And even with my second level students, I tell them that we're doing cold cases, and one of my students was saying how I'm nervous about cold cases. I don't really want to do it because I'm a little afraid of it. I said, first of all, you don't know who's going to book a session with you. You don't know. You don't have an intake form. You're not getting names and you're not getting details about who they want you to connect with. So I want you to be expanded always. So definitely cold cases come through. We talk about missing case. We talk about a lot because I do not want them to be limiting themselves because you don't know who just paid the $100 to get a reading from you. You don't know who that is. So it might be somebody that's looking for their brother, somebody that
Mm-hmm.
want to know what happened to their mother. You don't know who's coming. And they were like, well, okay, that makes sense. I'm like, yeah, so don't limit spirit. Because again, spirit is going to continue to send people to you. As if you want this for real, you're not going to be limiting yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Be able to handle anything spirit is bringing forth to you.
Yeah, that's so true. It's with like I would say with spirit, right, and with people like learning and like people that are like learning, right, like mentees or getting taking your classes or with whoever, if they're learning from a medium, it's like
Mhm.
with my students, I always say I'm going to teach you how to connect, but I'm not going to teach you how I do it. I want you to go off your experience. So like I will teach you how to open that up, and I will teach you how to understand it and how to expand it and how to you know um, feel it and like how to process everything, but I will not teach you how I do it, because how I do it is not, it's not going to be how you do it. Like you need to go off and learn off your experience, right?
Yeah,
I'm just kind of just there to push you into it and then to show you what you can do to open it, but it's not going to be the same as me, right? It's, I think your experiences, like for everybody, like your own experiences are that's important. So like what you go through and what you see and what you hear, from spirit, like go off your experiences. You know what I'm saying?
absolutely. 100%. That's exactly what I say too. Let spirit meet you right where you are and let's roll with it. Let's see what you got. Let's flow. Let's go. So yeah.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
love
Every,
it.
everyone's gonna be different. It's like no one will do it how I do it. Nobody will do it how you do it. It's they're all
You
gonna have their own way, and like I think that's what's amazing about it.
Yeah, you can be inspired, but I don't want you to do it like that. I want you to, you can be
Hmm.
all the time. You can go and watch Michael do his thing and be inspired, like, wow, that's amazing. And then you could go ahead and ask Michael, how did you do that? What tips do you give? What can I do to improve myself? But I don't want, and I tell all my students, don't be like nobody else. Be you.
Hmm.
Just be you. Because spirit is literally going to push you because you're doing
Hmm.
your authentic self. You're doing it your way. Okay. And that goes back to me saying you're leaving the how does your sitter sit, or how does your sitter feel after they've connected with you? That's how you're going to gauge if you're an amazing sitter, if you're an amazing reader. Your sitter is going to be the one to help you understand, like, yeah, you did an amazing job, thank you. It's going to help them with the grief. And I see somebody have a question about the grief. It's going to help with
Hmm.
it's going to help with that, help you allow your sitter to know that they can heal and grow from it, but not push them to end the grief, because grief, again, like she has in here, it comes in waves. So yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any advice for that, for the waves of grief?
Um, I try to get people to sit in it and to understand it, and know that it does come in waves, and as you grow and connect with your loved ones, and um, as you grow and as you connect with your loved ones and connect with other like-minded people, it's not going to be as bad. The waves will slow down. It will not be as many waves as it is in the beginning. There are moments. My aunt passed away 3 years, 4 years now, and I don't grieve as much because I know she's around me. She shows me many ways that she's around me, and for those that are having the grief, or feeling the grief, I try to have spirit when I'm connecting for you with your loved ones. I try to have them give me amazing things, give me the best times, the best moments, give me those great memories, and then for the sitter to hold on to those great memories and not think about the loss. I try to redirect the mind and say, hey, they loved you, oh my God, and they want you to honor them and give them something else to replace that grief, so they don't sit in it. I've done a reading, I want to say a few weeks ago as well, with my students that were on it. And it was one of the, I'm not going to say her name, but she was missing her loved one, someone she was dating, and she was missing him for a while. And she stayed in her house. She didn't really do much, but I saw the energy dancing around her and trying to get her to get out the house and do some, just liven her a little bit up. And I think that it gave her a sense of relief in a way. Not as, I don't think that she was as sad coming from that reading. Like she got perspective of like, okay, yeah, I do need to get up, I do need to go outside, I do, because I'm like, the energy is sitting there with you and watching you cry, but he's also saying, get up and dance. Let's do Alexa, right? Such and such. I see him dancing. I saw him dancing around her to try to, get her to, understand. And also, Michael, I tell everybody to read the book Journey of Souls, because that helped a lot with grief. It helps a lot. That helped me a lot. help me understand the soul's journey, help me understand what happens. Um, so that's one book I do recommend for those
Yeah,
who
that grief.
get the grief.
I
I
don't
didn't
know
hear
what
what.
just happened with my mic.
Oh,
Can you
okay.
still hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Sorry, sometimes this does this. It would jump between my phone and my computer, so I apologize. Um,
Oh, okay.
so I have a question, and can you still hear me?
Yeah.
You can still hear me?
Yes.
No. Um, there we go. So, you know, I know you talked about a little bit where you come from, and you talked about kind of what life was like. I know we didn't go deep into it, but I know that you came from a religious background, and what you went through and what you were kind of taught and told beforehand. Even getting into this, right? You were still going through that and still dealing with it. But what has this journey been like for you? What has this transition going from you know then to now, how what do you think it's been like? How has it changed you? What have you seen that you view differently? What has that journey been like, switching from that to now? What has it been like, you think?
It's been so much more amazing than I thought it would be. Because being in church, I felt as they taught us that if we leave the church, then everything will fall apart. Your life will fall apart because you're no longer in alignment with, Christ, and you're not in alignment. You don't love God anymore, so you're gonna backslide. You're gonna be stripped. You're gonna go to hell. So
Mhm.
everything was fear mongering, fear mongering, fear mongering. And then when I finally said, no more, I've had enough, it's been the most peaceful. It's been the most peace. I don't fear anything. I don't even fear death. I don't even fear death. Before I was like, oh my God, I'm scared to die because I'm not right. I've sinned, and now I'm like, all right, if tomorrow's the end, then tomorrow's the end. I don't feel I don't have that fear anymore. My anxiety has decreased tremendously, because again, it was fear mongering, fear based. Everything was just led in fear. But as I began to develop and tap into mediumship a lot more, I understand that fear is just false evidence appearing real. False. It's all fake. Everything attached to fear is not true. I never believed in those boxes. I never wanted to stay in boxes. I hated boxes. But people create boxes for me to stay in, and I always was fight against those boxes. So now doing this, I don't feel like there's any boxes. I'm free to do what I want. I can go live when I want. I can go to a restaurant. I'm so free. I don't have to answer to anybody, because it's me living my truth. It's living my life and not living it in the conditions of or the confinements of the church. Even my mom, my background, we're Haitian background. So also now I'm looking at it in the lens of, okay, what's next? Because I'm being pulled to understand and learn about the different cultures, my culture, understand what voodoo is, understand what hoodoo is, understand what all these different pantheons of deities. Like I'm in a space to learn it all. I just want to learn it all because again, in church, those other gods, those false gods, you don't look at that. You don't touch that. You don't go near it. And now I'm over here like, I want to learn it. I want to know what that is. Who's Hecate? Who's Freya? Who's Shango? What are these energies? What is that? So, and they have come. Some of those energies have shown up. And I'm like, wait, okay, wait a minute. I did not know that. This is okay. So it's eye opening. And I love every second of it. I love all of it. I love all of it. So yeah, so this journey has definitely showed me so much. And also too, Mike, being an African American woman, a Haitian woman, I don't see a lot of me. I don't see a lot of me doing this. When I turn on the app, I don't see, Black women on here talking about, I'm a medium and I'm gonna go ahead and connect. I don't see any of that. And
Mhm.
what I've learned in the beginning of my mediumship, spirits showed me that a lot of us are not being seen because a lot of us are still in the church, still in religion. A lot of them coming out, but also Miss Cleo. immediately I got Miss Cleo. I was like, wait, Miss Cleo? And it was a documentary that came out a few years ago in the beginning of my journey. And Spirit told me to watch the documentary about Miss Cleo. And as I watched it, I've learned, I'm like, wait a minute. So they kind of demonized that to make it look bad for all other ethnicities, all other races to not go into that, not to go into it because it looks like a scam. It looks scammerish.
Mhm.
And so for me to be on there, because somebody did call, I have a few people popping onto my live. I'm like, oh, Miss Cleo. And I was like, if you really understood Miss Cleo's story, you would rethink what you're saying. Go watch the documentary. I always tell people, go watch your documentary. Go watch your documentary. Because she was definitely taken advantage of. And it was demonized because how she, calling me now. I always tell people, go watch your story. It is very reflective. It's very sad what she went through. And I see why a lot of people you wouldn't see a lot of me. Representation matters. And somebody brought it up a few months ago to me, like, Ermi, I'm happy to see that you're doing this because you representing. And the same thing to you, Mike. I don't see a lot of male psychic mediums out here. So representation matters for the men. Because I do have people that comes to me that are men that come into my program. And I'm like, let's push them out there. Let's get some more of these guys out here. Let's get some more of
Yeah.
these Black women out here. Come on, what are the Hispanic ladies? I need more. But I have a lot of Caucasian female friends that are doing it, which I love dearly. But they always say, Ermi, keep going, keep going, keep going, because we don't see enough. And it's always, I want to say the Black women, you see them in like different types of religion, like Ifa tradition or African tradition. I don't want to be initiated in anything. I just want to be ErmiSees
Mhm.
doing this. So who knows? 10 years from now, Spirit is like, okay, Ermi, now go learn this because you're about to be initiated. That's 10 years from now. But right now, Ermi, I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested. I just want to help people and do this. So
I
yeah.
feel you on that. No,
Hmm.
that's great. No, I think you're right. I think we definitely we do need more. I mean, like it's true. Like we really don't see a lot of African American women doing this. I mean, and like even far as like like Caucasian men, most that are psychics or mediums, they're and I'm not being judging by any means at all, but most of them are are either gay or it's you don't see a lot of straight you
Yeah.
know bald bald with a beard, white males doing this type of work. And a lot of people don't believe me. They're like, what? Like just based off like me.
Hmm.
And they don't believe me or like I would never saw that or no, there's no way. And like I even had someone come into my live once and she said that you can't be a medium because you don't have the divine energy. And so yeah, so some people are a little Looney Tunes, but it's all good.
Looney
It's why
Tunes.
what it's why we just let it go and just keep going down our path. But yeah, we definitely need more, like you said, because I think it will make other people feel more comfortable,
Hmm.
especially going through like let's say going through what you went through, right? Some of them probably don't even talk about it. You know what I'm saying? And they're probably too scared, or because they've been told so much stuff, and it's like imagine if they could hear you. Imagine if they could hear what
Right.
you've been through. Imagine if they could hear what you said. And that's why I think it's so important. That's why I would like really, really wanted to like have you, hear and have you tell your story because I want people to know that, what they're going through and what they're being told. Doesn't have to be life. Like if you're going through something and you're seeing it and you're hearing it and you're being told, right, you're being talked to, you're not a bad person. You're not, demonic. You know what I mean? Like it's okay, and I think if more people saw that, they'd probably feel more comfortable coming out of their shell and coming into their true selves.
Hmm. Hmm. Absolutely. And I just want to be a beacon of light to many, many more people that is looking to, because I hate to say this, but a lot of people that are looking or wanting to, they don't want to go to different races. They want to see somebody that look like them so they can feel a little safe. And like you said, you may get a slew of bald men showing up at your knocking on your door like, okay, can you teach me because this is amazing. So I want everybody to see that there's so many other different people that do this, and I'm not, the traditional African American woman usually have their head wrapped, or have beads, or it's a look. And for me, I don't want to give that look. I want to look like me. I want to look like, so people could just look like themselves and just do the work. Because when we choose to come into this body, we just come to we're choosing to just be us, and not fit into different categories. I don't want to fit into anybody's box. I don't want to fit into anybody's category. I just want to be Ermi, that can see, that can help, that can push people, that can crank out more mentees so they all lock this ability as well. I just want to be able to be a connection for them to be able to know that they can do this too.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, just be more comfortable, I think it's amazing. And it's like you said, we do. We need more. But I think it's not just the more part. I think we just need people to just realize that they're okay,
I agree.
You're okay. Don't let what others told you, dictate your path or your future. Like I said before, go off of your experiences. Like that's what's important. You know what I mean?
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, Katie said, have either of y'all connected to aliens? And if so, how did that go? What was your experience like?
I have. I have. It was in the beginning of my mediumship when I was starting to go live. And while I was live, I was, connecting with different energies, different, I didn't set boundaries when I was in the beginning. I was just letting any energy come through. But this one particular live, it was late in the night. I want to say 11 p.m., 12 o'clock. And me and my friend, we would go live together all the time in the beginning. And so one day I was connecting, and immediately I saw like 4 beings standing in front of me, tall beings, like about 10 feet tall. And they were as white as this paper, white as this paper. And I don't know if you remember the movie Prometheus.
Mm-hmm.
So with that energy, hold on, that's my dog. I don't know if you can hear my dog.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine.
But with that, I saw the 4 beings super tall, and I was shocked because I was like, what is this? What is happening? I said, I'm not connecting because I don't even know what this is. Why am I seeing 4 tall beings here? And they were just standing in front of me, like wanted to connect. And I started telling the people in the line, I'm not connecting. I'm not doing this. Absolutely not. I'm not connecting with these energies. But somebody in the chat did understand because they also were seeing the energies in their dreams. And so I described the energy because everybody was saying, just connect, Ermi, just say what you see. So I did say what I saw. And one person in the chat, like, that's those literally the beings that I see when I'm in my dreams. And I have drawn it. And then so I continue with the reading, and I saw the person with pages flipping and drawing. And I even drew a picture of what I saw, and the person in the chat was like, that's exactly what I was seeing. Those are definitely the beings that I was seeing. And so I'm like, oh my God, Spirit, what the heck? And so Spirit was like, we did that so you can know that there are more species out here. There are more than just, and I was just, Mom, I was floored. I was floored. So it was helping my unbelief because I'm like, wait, did I just literally see extraterrestrial beings here?
Mm-hmm.
They maybe like a week later or 2 weeks later, the people, that big thing in Miami,
Oh
Bayside,
yeah.
it was like, I was like, I wonder if those were the energies I was seeing, So I could say I did connect with them in that way, but I didn't channel them like Bashar. I didn't, connect with them in that way, but I just said what I saw. And then the person in the chat was like, absolutely, those are beings that I see all the time. So that was my experience. And I want to say I have been hypnotized. When I was hypnotized on the live once, I've seen beings when I was under hypnosis on my live stream, and when those beings started to speak to me, I was like, oh, okay. It felt like Guardians of the Galaxy. Remember Guardians of the Galaxy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was seeing a bunch of different creatures, and one of them, this girl, she came to me, she was hugging her female energy, and I was like, whoa. And she was like, you know, we're besties. And I'm like, what? the heck is this? But yeah, so I just know that we definitely we're not the only ones here. That gave me
Hmm.
solidified my belief that okay, we're not the only ones here. It's just we're just one planet in this huge universe of many, many universes. So that got me
That's
with learning about that.
that's pretty freaking cool. I'm not gonna lie. And that yeah, and it's funny too because like now I think about it, like that whole Miami thing. I'm like, yo, they were tall and they were like all white, like what if it really was them?
It freaked me out. It just made me be like, because that's one thing I could say spirit does with me. And remember, I said from a young child, I would see things happening and before it actually was happening. So that was
Hmm.
those moments where the energies came. And then a couple weeks later, I'm like, what the heck? Hold on, wait a minute. The portals, those things, and people were trying to capture what they or even describing what they saw. And it's just like, dang, is that really, so it helped me with my unbelief for sure. And it just made me go back to those movies like Signs. Remember that movie Signs? And
Hmm.
type of movie. So I'm like, all right, let me go and rewatch some of these now that my eye is open and my spirit self is now starting to see more clear. Let me go back to the movies that I thought was entertainment and let me watch this again because wait a minute. This is a mess. There's something going on here.
It's a lot different, isn't it? It's a whole different type of energy. I'm not gonna lie. At the beginning, it can be very confusing because like I had an experience before too, and it was nothing like connecting with spirit. It was just very strange. It was like and like I'm talking like this thing was in my house. Like I was looking at it like how I'm looking at you right now. It was like that, and it was so strange. I mean, the eyes were just like they weren't close together. They were like kind of like farther out here, and it's like I wasn't trying to bring this in. You know what I mean? Like I was just sitting there watching TV, and I remember I turned around for some reason. Something told me to turn around. I turn around, and it's in my doorway, and it's just staring at me. And I'm like, I don't know if this is like, what am I? Is this real? You know what I mean? Because like again, like before you have that experience, when you first have it, it can be very confusing because you don't know if you're just seeing things or if you're just you know what I mean? If your mind's like playing tricks, but it was so strange. I remember just staring at it. And
Mhm.
it's not like it was trying to communicate with me. It's not like it would like went to harm me or anything. I think it was just like it legit felt like this thing was just studying me, just learning about me. Um, like I didn't talk to it. It didn't talk to me. We just looked at each other. And finally I was like, well, this is all right, this is fucking weird. And I just turned back around. I'm like, I don't even know what to do right now.
Mhm.
And then
Mhm.
like 5 seconds later, I was like, hold up. And I turned back around and it was gone. And it
Oh,
was just one of those things like I think kind of the same as you, just kind of introducing,
yep.
like warming me up, seeing how I would react to this thing. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It was yeah, it was kind of crazy. But yeah, it's very eye opening and I think it's more so um I think they're just letting you know what I mean? Just
Mhm.
so you don't have to question it.
Yep.
Um they're definitely there for sure. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people have probably had experiences where they didn't know how to really process it or understand it, and little do they know it was a being that they you know what I'm saying, that
Yep.
had connected with.
Yep.
So I think that part's pretty cool. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Um, so during during your journey and during doing mediumship and doing mentorship and psychic work and any type of spiritual work, like what do you enjoy the most out of this? Like what gets you up and gets you going in the morning to come and do this?
What really gets me going is the journey, watching the journeys of so many other people when they unlock this. Um, when I get on live, I look forward to connecting for people, but I also find myself doing more teaching as well and explaining what this is because spirit is like you need to explain it to some people that are just popping in that don't know or that are coming out of the religious spaces or now you are a safe space for them in this moment. So teach them what the clairs are. Let them know. Okay, I know y'all hear the ringing. I know you're seeing shadows. Let's talk about it, and not just connecting all the time. It's now a point of conversation. So Spirit has shifted me in that. And I think that comes from me being that teacher now, helping people develop. Spirit's like, okay, you don't have to just do it in the class. You can also do it on the live, have moments where you could just teach a few things and have them understand. So I look forward to that. I also look forward to watching my mentees, watching their journey, watch what happens next. Because a lot of them, they found me on TikTok and they were the ones asking questions about all of this and the fear that they had to where they are now. They're going live, they're connected for people. And I'm just like, man, and Spirit's like, see, when you show up, they will show up. When you show up, they will show up. So that's the big thing for me, is showing up. I know I haven't been showing up in the past few weeks though, but because I have so many other things that I'm doing on the back end. But Spirit's like, show up anyway. If two people needs to see you and you're going to help them in that way, just show up. Show up for the two. Show up for the 10. Show up for that one. Show up for the 100. But just show up, And so that's pretty much my push, is just showing up, because healing is going to come from it. Even if nobody take your classes, even this moment of communication is key for that pivotal point in their life. There's something happening in their life right now that they need to hear you say certain things. And half the time I don't even know what I'm saying, Mike. I'm just talking. I'm just talking. And my cognizance, clear cognizance, just flows. So I'm getting downloads and just talking. And my spirit team, I could feel them when they were like, yes, yes, yes. I started getting real hot, and I'm just like, blah, 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 just going. And then I feel them like pushing me, go, 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 go. And I feel the heat. So that my spirit team comes, I start getting that flutter, the fire in my belly. And I'm just like, I'm talking to somebody in here. I feel like I'm just flowing. And Spirit's like, this is why I need you to show up, because that person may have wanted to, end their process before their time, or this person needs this word of encouragement to get them out of bed today. This person needs that word of encouragement to say, okay, they found somebody in the chat that is going to help them or push them in their journey, like whatever it is, that you just need to show up. And so that's why I look forward to that. It's like, okay, I'm just show up and help somebody. Somebody has a question, a simple question, I'm able to answer that. Other people are like, nope, you got to pay me for that answer. And I was like, it's not that serious. You could ask me the question. You can ask me a question. As long as it's me not tapping into your energy, and me just, whatever it is when it comes to mediumship, or, just understanding what this is, then I'm definitely there. Definitely there to do it and help you out. And I also do mediumship on my lives. I do spirit-led mediumship. So I offer myself in that way to help people. So hopefully that answers.
That doesn't. No, it's you do all this for the right reasons, and you're truly not just helping, but you're trying to push people to be their better self, to be their complete and whole self. But you're also you're showing up, like you said, and I think that's what's important. Is just showing up. You know what I mean? And I think a lot with a lot of people don't know what mediumship is, right? Declare that where either your guides or spirit will talk through you, and you may just be talking and you may not even know at the time, but that's spirit talking through you and using you to communicate. And like Ermi was saying, they start pushing you and you feel it, and you're like, oh my God, yes, this is them. Like, because like all this stuff is coming out of nowhere, but it's all making sense, and the sitter or whoever is completely understanding everything. So it's like, it's such I think it's one of those clairs what a lot of people don't talk about, but I think it's usually, if I like think about it now, I'm like, that's might be one of the biggest clairs, and you just don't know it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like you may be focusing on trying to do these other clairs, but like the whole time that clair, with what is the clair called again when they talk through you? I always forget. Is it clairsentience?
That's when you feel it. Claircognizant.
Yeah.
Just know he's just going and flowing. Yep. The
claircognizance. Yeah, the claircognizance. Yeah, that's like the knowing, right? And I feel like that one's so big but it's like the one that's not talked about the most, but I feel like it's most important, because most of us will use it, and we use it pretty much probably every time we go live. It's like the biggest one we use, and we don't talk about it enough. It's really important,
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely.
It
Yep.
is.
So
And like you said, I was just saying, like you said too, with like the showing up part, I think that's just so important because I'm sure you've had days where you've probably done readings all day, or you did, mentee work, or you just, I don't know, had a long day, you're out all day, but you get home and you're so tired, but something's telling you that you need to get online and you need to go live, right? Like, I'm sure that has happened like when you're like dead, like you're so tired, but something is pushing your ass to get on live because somebody needs help. You know what
yep,
I mean?
yep, I get it all the time, all the but also I have to tell spirit, hey, I'm still living a human experience. My body needs rest. So I can work with you. I'll show up, but I'm not gonna show up today, spirit. Like I'm tired. I need to rest. So
Hmm.
all right, they'll back it up. But I say if this person needs me, bring them back again. To bring them back. Let them come back with the next time I go live. Let them be there, But I physically need rest. I'm still a human.
Hmm.
I'm still living a human experience, people, spirits, spirit guides, ancestors, everybody. My body needs to be re-energized. So yeah, but I will get the push. My aunt, who I don't feel her energy as much, but when she show up, that's my sign. You need to go live right now. So yeah,
Hmm.
you need to go. I will smell her. And I'm like, all right, I got it. I know. Let me just go.
Yeah, that's when you know you're like, man, something about to go down. Like it's
Yep.
about to get crazy. It
Mm-hmm. And
is.
yeah, too, when it happens, you're like, oh, this is why I came on the
Uh
line.
huh.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah. Listen, spirit guides are crazy, you guys. Or spirit guides or spirit, they'll let your ass know, and you'll know and you'll feel it. It's like persistence. It's like you ever like lose something and you're on the way somewhere and you're trying to remember where you put it and it's all you can think about. Like you're trying to focus on other things, but you can't because you put this somewhere and now you can't find it, and you're like back tracing all your steps. Where could I have left it? Blah blah blah. It's like that with spirit sometimes, where it's just like you're trying not to, but it's so persistent that you're like, you finally just have to be like, okay, like this happened, it must be important, or like they must really need me right now because it's taking over every thought in my head. You know what I mean? It's sometimes it could be like that, but it's like you said, it's because somebody just needs help, or somebody's waiting for, they don't know it yet, but they're waiting for you to hop on and them to see your live about when they're scrolling, and then all of a sudden they get picked for a reading, and you know it changes everything for them. it
Yep.
it, you know
Yep.
what I mean?
Yep. Absolutely. Yep. And I see that all the time. I see it all the time. And I was like, okay, all right, spirit, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I thank you for, and I give gratitude to spirit as much as I give gratitude so much. My God, I'm always saying thank you, spirit. Thank you.
Hmm.
Because it's not, I see I want to say I can see the outcome of it. I can see what comes next sometimes. And I know sometimes, and I learned too, to not say a lot of the things that I see, because sometimes these people that are here to get a message or connecting, they have to see it for themselves. So now I don't want to be the God of the person. I don't want to be the one that they keep going to for every single thing. Like spirit is like, no, 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 no. Check, check. I'm teaching you, I'm telling you for you, Ermi, not for you to go and say it, not for you to tell Michael. Let Michael experience it on his own. Let Michael have his own experience, or let whoever, Susie, John, whoever. But I'm also showing you. I'm also teaching you, so okay, you're not tripping. You saw it, and now it's going to come to pass. So I see that a lot as well, and I'm just
Hmm.
gratitude. Like, all right, I'm still learning. Thank you.
Yeah, it's like that. It's a two-way relationship, like we imagine, somebody always doing something for you and you're not saying thanks, or you're not showing appreciation. It's just like that, it's, you have to show that. It's a relationship, if you don't put your part in, you know what I mean? It's
Hmm.
just like any other relationship. It's important to give thanks. So I'm with you on that. I try to always, always, always give thanks every single day,
Absolutely.
um, and just let them know. You know what I mean? Um, so, Ermi, where can they find you at?
Well, I do have a site that they can find me on ErmiSees.com. Link to my beacons, and my beacons have everything I have going on. I have all my services. I have all my classes are also on that. merch. Everything is on my beacons. You can also find me on TikTok, ErmiSees on TikTok, YouTube, same, and also on Instagram, Ermi.sees. Because I don't know who took ErmiSees. Like, what's up with that? Like, who got that name? And why I can't have my name on Instagram? But yeah, so those are the places that you guys can find me on that. And I give you guys, I try to put like upcoming events on there as well. And another spot that I'm always at I'm in my Discord. I have a Discord, and I'm always there. People can definitely find me on my Discord, which is also linked in that my Beacons bio. So yeah, so that's where you can find me, guys.
Did you said you had a website? Is that what you said?
Ermi C. Yep.
Ermi.
Ermi
I'm gonna
C.
put it in the chat for everybody. SEES.
.com.
That way you guys can go
So
to.
I had to log in onto my iPad to see everybody, and I'm now seeing all the comments and everything. I'm like, oh, okay, hey y'all.
Yeah, yeah. You have to be on the app to see all the comments.
And now,
Yeah, YouTube's weird. A lot of people didn't know that too. They're like, I was like, did you see these comments? It was crazy. And like, no, what are you talking about? I'm like, oh, you have to be on the app. That's why.
yep. A lot of my students in there too in the chat. And if y'all can connect my beacons or put it in the chat, I would love for you guys to also put that in there for those that's in the chat watching.
What's the beacon again, real quick?
It's still ErmiSees, but I want to make sure that it's the same. I think it's http.ermisees.com. So it's the same thing, but it's just connected to my beacons, which you already have on the screen.
Oh, okay. All right, awesome. Yeah, so make sure you guys go follow her on every single social app she has. I promise, if you don't know her, I mean, now you know her, but make sure you follow her. Make sure you watch her. Like, what she does is truly amazing. And if you're wanting to learn, she's an amazing teacher. So you're winning if you learn from Ermi. Okay, you'll be winning in life if you're going to be learning from her. But I mean, but you go live a lot too. So like, if you're ever wanting to see her go live, she goes live a lot, and she does a lot of readings. So it's like, if you ever want a reading from her, you do private readings too, right?
Yep. I do a lot of private readings. I do a lot of psychic readings as well. I do energy with my cards. So I use the cards. I can use the cards because the cards is usually just a guide, but I literally could just read your energy and just tap in and just tell you what spirit needs to tell you. Like, I don't really have to use the cards. So I show people where I'm not using the cards and I'm tapping into the energy and I'm talking about them. And then I'll say, all right, now let's see. Let me just go ahead and be guided by the cards and continue on with the reading. So yeah.
Yeah, it was funny. I remember because I've talked to Katie before about getting you on the pod, and I was trying forever. And I told you what happened. It was just it was out of my control. But she was like, Ermi will read it and she'll know right away. Like, she'll know bullshit right away, and she can smell it from a mile away or something with energy. And I'm like, yeah, she can. She's fucking good. So that's what Katie was saying. Katie was saying you're very, very good with connecting energy, and she's right. You are. So I mean, I think I love that about you the most is and you always say too though, you're like, I should give it to you real, raw. Like, there's no fake shit here. It's all real. Like, don't come here expecting something, because you're gonna get it exactly how you need it. You know what I mean?
And I would want somebody to be real with me too, like sugar. Because I'm a straight shooter. If you see this in my energy, you see what's going on, I want you to tell me straight up. Don't put any sugar or nothing on it. Don't put a cherry on top. Just tell me the grind. Ermi, you need to get your shit together. That's what I want. Because in life, and I want to make sure I'm doing the right thing when I am flowing with spirit. I want to make sure I'm doing the right thing for my life. But also, whatever you're saying, it's just giving me confirmation of what I've already known from my spirit team. So. People can't really come at me with no bullshit. So like Katie says, yeah, I'm gonna tell you the real deal. But
yeah, I think everybody appreciates that the most, and it's refreshing too, because imagine telling somebody something to make them feel good, and imagine that shit not happening or happening and just destroying their life.
Right.
So that's why I feel like just being real and just raw and just telling it how it is very, very important.
I can give you an example of where I might not say, but I tell people because a lot of people pop in and say, you know, am I going to be pregnant? Those pregnancy questions that a lot of psychics hate, a lot of mediums hate, a lot of people. But I tell people the real deal because I was once a pregnant person that had a pregnancy loss. And I could tell someone, yes, you're going to get pregnant, but then 4 or 5 months from now, you may lose that baby. I don't want to say that. So that's why a lot of people, you know, I have to break it down for those that do ask those type of questions. Like, yeah, I can see you get pregnant next month, but then 4 or 5 months from now, this may be a miscarriage, or this may be something. You know, something may happen. So that's why I'm cautious when I talk about pregnancy, especially for those that's listening. That's why you might see me not say too much about it. But your loved ones may come through and say, "Hey, I have the baby. The baby's coming. The baby's coming. The baby's coming," and I'll let that connection go. But just doing it psychically, I don't like to really say it. But
Mm.
you know, people have reached out to me. In the beginning of this year, I had 2 different people reach out to me and say, "Ermi, the baby, I have the baby. The baby's here. The baby's 5 months old." I'm like, "Wait, what? What do you mean?" It was like, "Yeah, you don't remember you said that in one of my readings." I'm like, "I did." Really? I did. Half the time we don't remember the readings, Michael. I don't know if you remember them. I don't remember. I don't remember none of my readings.
Yeah, they're hard. Sometimes, yeah, they're hard to remember, but yeah, getting those messages are pretty cool, isn't it?
I love it. I love it when it's so accurate, and then they come back and tell me,
Hmm.
"Hey, you saw this. This was going to happen. You said it." And I'm like, "All right, spirit, thank you." You know, because I'm like, it's not me. It's spirit. Spirit showing me that. You know, I always try to put it on spirit. Like spirit said, and not me. I'm just a
Hmm.
energy. I'm just a conduit for the energy, but it wasn't me. It was spirit, your spirit team.
For real, and it is, and it actually just happened too, where this I think this woman did 2 readings with me, but it's been a while, and like at both readings, which again I forgot too, like I forgot, like I used to do a lot of readings, but she was like, "You told me that there's a baby with me and that a baby's coming, and I told you no, like we're not trying, like we're not having any baby. It's not going to happen. Like I don't know like why you're seeing it." She's like no, it's impossible. And I'm like, listen, I'm just letting you know that there is a baby with you, right? And it hasn't been born yet, so I know it's there for a reason. It's waiting.
Mhm.
And she messaged me the other day, and she was like, uh, just like reaching out. Hey, I have a question for you. Something happened which shouldn't have happened, but it did happen. I don't know how it happened. And she was like, like something you said happened and it came true, and I'm just trying to make sense of it. And I was like, what happened? And she was like, well, you told me there's a baby and I was going to be pregnant. I told you there's no fucking way. And she's like, and now I'm pregnant. And I was like, dude, I'm telling you, like it's the same thing. I'm like, it's spirit. They're amazing. Like this is all spirit. But yeah, like they don't, like they don't lie. Like they're just honest about everything. You know what
Yep,
I mean? But it's
100%.
cool. It's cool to get those messages.
Hmm. Yep,
That,
I love it. And again, I always give a high five to spirit. Like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, because you don't got me out here looking crazy.
yeah, right. I know. Like, tell you on live, you're wrong. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, you're crazy. No, I can't get pregnant. Like, and
Right.
make you look like a fool. And
Hmm.
yeah, I have legit so many messages from people coming back to me and being like, hey, guess what? And I'm like, what? And they're like, I'm pregnant. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I was just waiting for you to tell me. It's one of those things. My best friend too. My best friend. I told him, I was like, dude, you're gonna have fucking another baby soon. I was like, there's a baby standing with you, and he was like, no fucking way. Like, no, no, we're not having another baby. No, I'm not. No, that's crazy. 2 weeks later, he calls me. He was like, you won't fucking believe it. I'm like, she's pregnant, isn't she? He's like, fuck. He's like, yep. And I'm like, I told you, bro. I was like, at least I gave you warning. Um, so yeah, it was pretty cool to get that message.
Oh, I love that.
That, that validation is nice.
Mm-hmm. Make it feel good.
Yeah. So one last thing, or
Mhm.
me, and this is not really. I mean, it's not. It could be a mediumship or energy question, whatever. But it's more so, I think, with life and just you know who people are and who you are as a person. But what advice? What advice can you give to the world? Like, what advice do you have for the world? What advice do you have for everybody in here? Um, like, what advice do you have for them as far as moving forward in life, advice as far as like, goals about what they want to do. Like, what advice do you have for them? Like, what can you tell them to help them to keep moving forward, to find a purpose, to find, to hit those goals? Like, what advice can you give them?
One thing that I definitely tell everybody, and everybody knows this is my thing. I always say, reach one, teach one. Okay. If you have the information, the knowledge, teach it, tell it. Don't hold it in your back pocket and saving it for a rainy day. You are putting yourself in a space to learn and learn and learn, but you're learning to also teach someone else. Okay. And then another thing I also want to leave with everybody that is watching me, to do it anyway. If you're afraid, do it anyway. If you're scared, if you have that energy of stagnation and you want to do something, just do it anyway. Do it scared. Do it scared. And you'll see the end of it being, oh, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't as scary as I thought it, because this is you releasing yourself from those limiting beliefs, releasing yourself from those that fear mongering. Scared, who cares? Just do it. Just do it anyway. Okay. So I tell everybody that. So hopefully everybody understands that I'm big on you just doing what you feel right for you. Um,
Mhm.
not allowing people to, not allowing yourself to be stuck with judgment of others, judgment of people, because the judgment doesn't pay your bills. The judgment doesn't fulfill you. Judgment, fear doesn't do any of that. Fear just stop you from living your dreams. Stagnation is the killer of dreams. Okay,
Mhm.
your dreams and do what you feel is right for you, and don't care what anybody else has to say about it. Just do it anyway. Just do it. So that's what I leave with everybody. That is my mantra. That is my thing I say for any and everything. If you're scared, just do it.
Mhm.
Do it
That's so
scared.
that's so damn true too. Don't let fear, kill your dreams.
Yep.
It's because, like you said, it will. Fear will kill everything. Um, you know what I mean? It really will. So, you
Mhm.
know, learn how to not just control the fear, but learn how to work past it. Because, you know, when you learn how to work past your fears and how to, to finally let that fear go and keep moving forward, you will see how beautiful life is. You'll see how beautiful your journey was meant to be. And I think, like you said, just that
Yeah.
fear comes, just say F it. It's like
Yeah.
live that life.
Yeah. Because it's such a beautiful journey when you really do what you feel is right for you. It's such a beautiful thing. I've had so many people come to me that spirit will tell me they were supposed to do this 3 years ago. They were supposed to do whatever 5 years ago. And fear is
Mhm.
just wasting their time. Fear is just keeping them in a space where they think they're safe, and but you're not. You got to keep moving, because the next box, you just put yourself in a bigger box if you want to still feel safe. But get out of that box that you are evolving in. You're being compressed in that box. There's no room. You got to get out of it. Get out of those boxes. Get out of those limited beliefs, and allow yourself to just risk it all. Just risk. Take some risk. Take some risk.
Mhm.
Do it. Come out of that comfort zone, because being comfortable is stagnation as well. Comfort will cause you to be stagnant and just bypass those dreams and watch somebody else do the same thing that you already thought about, the dream that you had. You watch somebody else do it, now you mad. Now you mad because somebody else doing the same thing that you want. Because sis, you need to move along. You need to move along so you can go ahead and attain those things, get those dreams fulfilled, so you can help other people, and then spirit push you to your next dream, push you to your next. You just gotta not be afraid. Don't be scared. Just do it. Do it anyway. Do it anyway. And then when you see again the outcome of you not being, the outcome of you doing it while you're afraid, you be like, well, again, it was not that bad. Oh my God. And that is
Mhm.
ego. That is all ego. Ego is your safekeeping. Ego is the one that's not going to allow you to push yourself. Ego is going to say no, because you're going to look crazy. Look crazy for a moment. It's okay to look crazy for a moment, but you have to just keep going. You have to keep going, because you're going to be mad 10 years from now looking at Michael on TV. Like, I remember I watched Michael on YouTube and I watched Ermi and Michael on YouTube. And you be like, oh, I should have listened 10 years ago. Don't be that one. Don't be that person that fear have you so stagnant to where you're watching everybody else fulfill their dreams, and your dreams are
Mhm.
just sitting in front of you waiting to be eating. Okay, don't
Yeah.
have people put their dreams on your plate as well. Don't stop fulfilling other people's dreams. It's time to fulfill your own dreams. And a lot of people miss that. They miss that a lot because they want to help because they can't help but be that people pleaser.
Hmm.
You gotta please yourself sometimes, you guys. You got to come out of those boxes and do what you need to do to grow. You have kids. Kids are watching. Your kids are watching. At least do it for your children. Okay.
Yes. That is the damn truth right there. I think that's the best way to end it is to do it for your kids. Like
Yeah.
if you're scared to do it for yourself, do it for your kids because I feel like a lot of us will push harder when we know it's our kids are
Yep.
either looking at us or our kids need it. You know what I mean? So yeah,
Yep.
do it for the kids. You know that's a good line. I like that. I mean that's a good line to end with. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, do it for the babies. And they would be like, I can't believe daddy did it. My dad is amazing because my dad or my mom, I bet your mom is not a medium. I bet you,
Hmm.
well, your mom can meet my mom and she can show you how to do it. Your dad can meet my dad and he could teach you. That's what the kid, they love that. They love to see we love to see our parents do what they fulfilling their dreams. And our children feel the same way. They want to see us be our best selves.
Hmm.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. Because I always tell people if the parents are happy, guess what? It typically makes the kids happy too. So
absolutely.
um, I like that so much. I like
Yeah.
that a lot.
they
I
go.
do.
Your baby's watching.
They are always, even when you think they're not watching, I promise you, they are writing down notes in their head at that exact moment. So, you
100%.
know, take their
Yep.
chances.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that. Well, I just want to thank you so much for coming on tonight, Ermi. It was, like I said, it was a long time coming. So I'm just finally happy I got you here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for not just telling your story, but just telling us everything about your life, but also just I think what you said tonight can help a lot of people and push a lot of people out of that box that they're in, like you said. And I think that's what's important. Just giving people some type of not just hope, but some type of direction. Some type of starting point. Because I think that's a lot of people don't know where to start. And it's not just with mediumship, but with anything in life. Like some people just don't know where to start. Well, just take that first step, that step that you knew you needed to take, but you chose not to, right? And you're trying to like find a second, like a plan B. No, just go with plan A. Just do it. And so I think that's important. So I think you taught a lot of people things tonight about just getting out of that box and just jumping out and seeing what's there for them. So I think it would definitely help out a lot of people tonight. So thank you so much again. I
Well,
do appreciate you.
thank you,
Um,
Mike. I'm glad I was here. You invited me here, and I'm glad to meet everybody that's here. Hopefully, you know, those that are watching can learn something from this and find yourself a mentor or a guide or somebody to help you push yourself. Even if you might be nervous, just push yourself, or find somebody that can push you. But eventually, you have to push yourself. You have to push yourself. You got to try. Got to try.
she ain't lying. That's the damn truth.
You got to try.
To do
Yeah.
it. Just do it like night. Just do it. It's for
Just
real. Just do it.
Just do it. And I definitely want to say too, one more thing: fear of being seen. Don't be afraid to be seen. I know that's a chokehold for a lot of people. They're afraid to be seen, and also fear of success. Because when you do it, now what? What's after that? Because you're doing it, but you don't want to push yourself beyond that threshold. Like, okay, well, if it succeeds, if I'm doing great at this, what does that look like? How do I maintain the success? Just do it, and it's going to come as it comes. Just do it and trust spirit, because it's going to come.
Hmm.
Yep. So that's all I got. That's what I got for y'all. Look,
I
Ermi,
like it.
push. I'm reading the
I,
comment.
yeah, Ermi would definitely push you. Yes, she will. So if you go to mentor with her, just know that she's not going to let you just sit there and just hide behind the wall or hide behind the screen. Like she's going to push your ass. So just make
Hmm.
sure you're ready for it because she'll push you somewhere where you need to go. So it'll be good.
Yep.
I promise you.
And what's coming up next is me popping up into different cities. Mike, I already told you I'm gonna be popping up in your city. We probably gonna do some gallery style mediumship. y'all gonna hear about
We
it.
are. Yeah. Yeah, me and Ermi are 100% going to link up. So you guys will know about it. I promise. I promise you will. It'll be a lot of fun. So thank you so much again, Ermi. I appreciate you. I thank you for your time. Thank you for everything you said tonight. I know I love it. So I know everyone else does. And just thank you so much for being here again. You're amazing. Make sure you guys go follow her on all her socials, please. Yeah, I promise you will not regret it. She is awesome. So thank you again. I appreciate all your time and your love and just your dedication to this. That's your dedication is important and it shows. So thank you.
Thank you for having me, and thank you guys. And I'll see you wherever I'm gonna be at all my places. I'll see you there. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you guys will see her, I promise. So thank you guys for showing up. Thank you for being here. And I'll see you guys next Monday night. All right. Everybody have a good night. All right. See you guys.
Have a good night.